Right, okay, here we go with our next pre-teach video. As you know in class, we'll be looking at long multiplication. We are really good now on 3-digit numbers by single digits. We looked at using place value counters, concrete resources to make sure we understood. We moved on to the grid method, and then we moved on to look at more formal method, the column method, to work out long multiplication. And this week we've been looking at 3-digit numbers multiplied by 2-digit numbers. Okay, we talked about the grid method in class. And we all discussed the fact that actually there's a lot of steps involved and very easy to make lots of mistakes. So we know that the formal method is much more efficient for doing long multiplications like this. And that's what I'm going to talk you through again today. Okay, so we've got 546 multiplied by 43 here. So it's really important that we understand what this actually means. Okay, like we've discussed in class. So you can say it 546 groups of 43 or 43 groups of 546. We do it, as we know with multiplication, you can do it either way round. Okay? So here we go. We've lined the digits up. I'm now going to draw my lines, and you know how many lines I need. I'm going to draw my 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. So I am going to multiply 546 by the 3 ones first. Okay, so it's going to be 3 groups of 6, 3 groups of 4, 3 groups of 5. Okay, and when I've done all of that and written my answer in the first line, I'm then going to multiply this 546 by the 40. Okay, I'm going to talk through that in steps. So if we look at the ones first, the 3 ones, it's going to be 3 groups of 6 or 6 groups of 3. Okay, and we talked about which way round was better to do it in class. And we all agree that actually it's better to do 6 groups of 3. Because if we don't know our times tables and we make our list, then if I make my list of groups of 3, then I don't need to do one list. Whereas if I do 3 groups of 6, I need to do 3 groups of 6, then I'll need to do 3 groups of 4, then I'll need to do 3 groups of 5. But this way, I'm going to do 6 groups of 3. And when I've done that, I'll already have done 4 groups of 3, because I can just check my list, and I'll have done 5 groups of 3. So it makes sense to go this way. So first up, 6 groups of 3. Okay, if you don't know it, hopefully we all do know it, but if we don't know it, we can do 6 groups of 3 as a list. 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, 5 groups, 6 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 groups of 3 is 18. Okay, so 18. 18 ones. I'm putting down my 8 ones, and my 10 ones I'm exchanging for 1 10. So I put it 1 in the tens column. So now 3 groups of 4 or 4 groups of 3. I can just check my list now if I don't know it. 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups of 3 is 12, plus the extra 1 is 13. So I'm going to put down my 3. And my 10 tens make 100. Okay. So now I'm going to do 3 groups of 5 or 5 groups of 3. 5 groups of 3, can just check my list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is 15. Plus the extra 1, 16. Now I've got nothing left, so I'm going to put that whole 16 down. So 600s and the 1000s, of course, as we know, make 1000. Okay? So far, I've multiplied 546 by 3. I found 3 groups of 546, and it's given me the answer 1638. But of course, I still need to find 40 groups of 546. So now I'm going to multiply by the 4 tens. And this is really important. Because I'm multiplying by the 4 tens, my first answer will need to go, it's the next line, but it'll need to go in the tens column, which means I need to put a 0 in the ones column as a placeholder. Okay? It's really important. I'm just going to change the colour of pen so we can see that. So I'm going to put a 0 down here because I'm multiplying by this 4, which is 4 tens. Okay? So 4 groups of 6, and I'm going to do it exactly the same way as we did with the 3 ones here. I'm going to do 6 groups of 4. I'm going to do it this way because then I'll create one list. 6 groups of 4. If I don't know 6 groups of 4, I'm going to do my list. So 1 group of 4 is 4. 2 groups 8, 3 groups 12, 4 groups 16, 5 groups 20, and 6 groups 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So 6 groups of 4 is 24. I'm going to put my 4 down and look where it's going, into the tens column straight away, because I put a 0 in the ones column. Okay, so it's 24, the 4 goes down here, and the 2 I move to the next column along, which is in this case the tens column. Okay, so I've done 6 groups of 4, I now need to do 4 groups of 4. Okay, I've already done my list, so I can just check it. 1 group, 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups. Okay, 4 groups of 4 is 16, but I've got this extra 2 to add on, which makes 18. I'm going to cross it out straight away, it's really important. Okay, so 18, I'm going to keep the 8, and I'm going to move the 1 into the next column along. Okay, and you can see why it's important we've crossed out the previous ones, because if I didn't cross it out, I might get confused as to which one I need to add on at the end. So always cross out after you've added it on. Okay, so now I've got to do 5 groups of 4. Check my list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, plus the 1 that I need to add on, 21. It's the end of my calculation, so I'm going to put that all down. Okay, 21. So 1, and then the 2. Okay, 1, 2, 3, comma. So I've found 4 groups of 546, and I found, sorry, I haven't. I found 3 groups of 546. Okay, 3 groups, and I've found 40 groups of 546. Okay, so I need to add these two together now to make it 43 groups. I'm going to put my adding sign in, and this is why you need that 4th line, as we know, because my answer is going to go down here. Okay, so I'll go to my green pen. So all we've got to do is add the numbers. 8 ones plus 0 ones make 8 ones. 3 tens plus 4 tens make 7 tens. 6 hundreds plus 8 hundreds, 14 hundreds. I'm going to keep 4 of my hundreds, and the 10 hundreds will make 1,000. And when we add, we put the number down below. Okay, one more 1,000. 1,000 plus 1,000 plus 1,000, 3,000s. And 2 tens of thousands plus no tens of thousands is 2 tens of thousands. Okay, 1, 2, 3, comma. So you can see that my answer here is 23,478. So 43 groups of 546, or 546 groups of 43, will give me an answer of 23,478. Okay, that's it. If we follow those simple steps, we're going to be able to multiply a 3-digit number by a 2-digit number. Let's just look at some quick reminder steps. So remember, 1, if you don't know your times tables, then make a list of the times tables, and then you can just check off that list. But it's important you check your list to make sure you've got it correct, okay, because that's really important. And 2, don't forget to put your 0 placeholder in the ones column when you're multiplying by that tens side, okay? Because your first answer needs to go in the tens column. That's really important, okay? Hopefully those steps will help you out. We're going to be working on this in class. In the meantime, have a go at these two at home, and we'll have a look at them in our next maths lesson. Good luck.